Good morning, executives of the gaming industry. Thank you very much for being there on the other side of the screen, sharing with us this cycle of interviews, G&M one-on-one, where we contact and we give participation to the main top leaders of the gaming industry. Today, we have the privilege to have the participation of Sabrina Soldà. She's the CMO, the Chief Marketing Officer of BtoBet. Thank you very much, Sabrina, for joining us and for collaborating with us, sharing your life and your experience in the gaming industry.
Thank you for this opportunity. I'm very pleased to be here with you and participate to this interview with Gaming and Media. Thanks a lot.
So Sabrina, as you may know, the main concept of this interview is trying to make a travel from the past to the present and to anticipate the future in terms of the gaming industry, in terms of your company and your life too, with a couple of questions about your life and your past. The first question is related to your upbringing, to the relationship you have with your parents, your childhood, your adolescence, and which were the main values your parents talked to you about, and how in which way those values you apply them today with your family.
Okay, so we go back in time. This is a kind of therapy session rather than an interview, but yes, I'm pleased. Actually, I had a really relaxing childhood, I may say. As you know, I've been born in Italy, in a city which is close to Venice. It's called Padova, so it's not of the capital city in Italy, but it's really beautiful and quiet. And I've been raised in the 70s, mid-70s, mid-80s. My childhood is in that period. And still in those times in Italy, we were used to, as a kids, to play on the streets and to meet after school and to meet other kids on the streets. And that gave me and all the other kids of my time and my same environment to grow together, let's say, play together every afternoon and acquire the value of accepting others, especially, and fighting for our opinions and finding our ways, because parents at those times, they were like working and doing their things. They were not checking on the kids too much, and we were left alone to deal with other fighting with the kids and life on the street. So that for me was the first learning. Respect others, respect the environment around us where we were playing and enjoying, and especially the sense of community. So the sense of our quarter in the city, respecting the goods of the others, the families, the houses around, the gardens, and whatever were given to us, because it was the more precious values. And this is what I want to pass also to my kid, respecting others and the sense of community, what is, in my opinion, my son.
Well, those are great values. Thank you for sharing those values. In connection with that, and in connection with the respect for the nature and for the environment in general, I was reading a piece or an article, an interview, where you were referring about the Blue Mind philosophy, you know, and I was really connected with that in terms of how we can better combine our work and our way of living with nature. So can you explain more about that? Can you explain more about how do you combine your work with other activities, maybe hobbies or sports or other things you try to do, to make a balance between your personal and professional life?
Yes, sure. So you know that I have been living in Malta since a while. I'm very lucky, let's say. I've been always very lucky because I've always been not so far from the sea, even in Italy or in other experience I had of living, never so far by the sea. Why I'm telling you this? I wrote that article because you know, water is a really important element for ourselves. We are made of 90% of water, our body. So it's a very important element within ourselves. But even the water itself is an element which is calming and it is relaxing. And marketing studies as well, and biological study also said the blue color is a color that inspire peace, inspire openness, inspire unity. So even only watching the sea, it calms our minds, that we are in the working environment always very stressed, especially in our industry, that everything is happening very fast and changes are so fast. Ourselves, we are working in technology, so it's even faster because we need to be up to date and stay with the pace. Anyhow, our brain needs to slow down and meet that. I would call it the sound of silence, or the sound of the blue wave, and that makes your brain calmer down. And when your brain is calmer down and it doesn't need to think about all the contingencies of how to solve problems straight away, immediately your brain comes to life again and start thinking disruptively with more creativity. So in this way, I was writing about the blue mind, having a blue mind. And moreover, I'm doing everyday meditation. For me, it's really important. I try to do mindfulness meditation and reframing meditation, which I find really useful on the everyday life. And I can say also that even being in the sea, like only swimming or scuba diving, it's an unconscious meditation. To me, it makes me going down to those waves that comes down my brain, and there I can think and I can be more creative. And I also talk in this writings I made in this article about how even a shower, being under a shower, is also calming down for the same reasons, that we are in our element, and water and the waves which are propelled by water are calming our body and after our mind. Yes.
So hopefully this concept will expand with this interview. Our intention is for more people to try to know more about the Blue Mind philosophy and all the things you have recently said. It's interesting. I think it's interesting in terms of meditation. Let's talk about business, Sabrina.
Yes.
You have a very extensive and admirable career. Congratulations about that. I mean, I have read all the things you have done in terms of advertising, in terms of marketing. You found your own company of marketing agency, Mystique. So in which way of those experiences you had before entering the gaming industry helped you to face this new challenge that was a new industry of gaming? How could you use all of those experiences and knowledge in this new challenge you had?
Yes. I think the most important experiences that gave me the way of leading the marketing strategies at the moment, they've always been facing with the mass market products, which means products that engage and an experience from the users. So what I try to apply, in the past I worked for many marketing companies, and the telecommunication and automotive industries are the one that I think I identify as the most significant for then the strategies that I have building up and transfer to the gaming industry. You need to understand that the gaming industry, it's an entertainment. We can compare the gaming industry as an entertainment with a high sense of excitement and experience that the player want to feel, remotely or retailing, it doesn't matter. So it's engaging emotions, high emotions, fast emotions, and experience that the player want to say. I think is comparing to telecommunication and automotive is you are engaging the same kind of experience. So identifying with the brand, most of all, and recognizing themselves with the brand and feeling, having experience with the product. So when I approach the marketing, even if I'm working in a B2B company and our clients are operators, I always think about the final users of our platform, the final users, and which are the clients of our clients. So that approach is what led me to the mailing this year to innovate a bit what is the marketing strategies around this industry.
So you have been in BtoBet for more than 5 years now, in the CMO position. You have been you have accompanied the evolution of BtoBet over the last 5 years. So I think that a big part of the company's evolution was due to your marketing strategy. You can have the product, you can have the plans, you can have everything, but if you don't have a very strong and smart marketing process, you can't maybe transmit all the values on the good elements of your products to the industry, to the world. So what's your balance on these last 5 years of your participation in the company, and how do you think you can help the company with your marketing tools to expand?
If I have to make a balance on the last 5 years, I think I had the great 5 years, I can say, in the company. I've started from the very beginning of the birth of the company, launching a new brands, and with the objectives and the challenges to launch a new brands worldwide. That is a lot. But we managed in 5 years to gain the trust and the credibility on the market. Not only, of course, because of the marketing strategy. The marketing strategies was a point I was following and launching what it is and has been realized as a great product. And that has been due to forehead entrepreneurs, for example, that has a disruptive way of thinking the product and how to build up new technologies for the industry that they were not contemplated before, putting together many elements, analyzing what are players' expectation, operators' needs, different markets. So I was lucky because I could work with these open-minded entrepreneurs and putting my experience that I have gained in my 25 years of careers in marketing. So the result was a successful journey with a lot of rewards and with the exponential growth until the final step that we have made, which is not final only for BtoBet alone as a company, because as you know, we have been acquired by Aspire Global. So we can say that now we are starting a new exciting journey, which is even more with an exponential growth worldwide in markets that we were start facing, but not a leader yet. So now we can count in a big group, and we will lead really forward as one of the main group leading the world of iGaming at the moment.
I remember this year in February, we met in Ice London in one of the only events, face-to-face events,
yes,
of the gaming industry this year. You were presenting the new Neuron 3 platform of your company, a great tool. And I guess you have already a schedule of work for this year. And then you have to try to restructure or change the projects you have in terms of marketing because of the international virus. So my main interest is How did you do that? How could you be able to change your original plans in order to continue working together with your clients, with the operators? I mean, it was a really challenge, and I want to know, how did you face it in order to be in the day-to-day with the companies, not having the possibility to be in person talking with them? I mean, we have to use Zoom and other digital tools, but you didn't have the possibility to be, as you may know, in business it's important to be in the face-to-face environment. So how did you manage to restructure your marketing plan in order to keep on going and helping your clients and your operators?
Okay, we have to divide the plan in three, let's say, because we have to understand that there is the relationship with clients, acquired clients. There is the marketing targets and the marketing objectives of the company, which is another area. And then we have the sales department, which we do not have to forget that sales is most the difficult part, where you cannot travel and you are a worldwide company and you need to be stuck in your country, not being able to meet prospects, for example. This could be the most challenging part. But let's start from the first one. We had already put in place before this strong relationship with our customers. So every customer has their own customer relationship manager, which they are in contact, and they were in contact every day. You know that we have been spread in many countries, in Africa, in Latin America, in Europe as well. So we do not have a customer relationship manager for each country to see each other in person. So we had put in place already before this pandemic a way to be always in contact with our partners, that we call partners, obviously, because we work with them together every day for the strategy and to support them. So this is one thing. And this didn't affect anything with our client, let's say, the pandemic. Only the pleasure to meet them and have a drink together during the exhibition, let's say, and meet them all together face to face, this is the biggest luck, let's say. But in terms of business, it didn't change anything. Then we have the marketing side of the plan and the strategy of the company, which had a lot of changes, of course, because we had already put in place all the strategy for 2020 in 2019. And when the pandemic started, I remember after ICE, when we came back all after ICE, and we all had planned all the international exhibition, for example, in Latin America, and speaking with you, we had planned at least to be present in 5 expos, local expos in LatAm, and we had to reshuffle and restudy all our strategy. And at this point, I need to thank also the resilience of the media partners and the exhibitors organizer, which they managed in a very short time to reorganize themselves very quickly online. So we, of course, took advantage of the online platforms that they managed to put in place, like yourself, for example. This interview, it's a great marketing opportunity for us. And we have done plan together. We Game and Media News in the past months, even though the pandemic, but with other medias as well and exhibitors as well. It's not the same in terms of sales, which is another another area. In one way, yes, it's more difficult because we are a focal point of the business of an operator. So that means that without a technological platform, they cannot operate, and it's you need to pass them trust on the company, which it's easier to pass with the empathy one-to-one when you meet them in business meetings, and it's easier for our sales guy to transport what is the philosophy of the company and to talk one-to-one. But this is not possible, unfortunately. Hopefully soon, because we all miss those times. But we have acquired, again, other means. So we are organizing a lot of presentations with clients. Fortunately, let's say that sales point of view, we have been very lucky, because many of the operators, especially also in Latin America, as you know, we have moved some land-based operators to online due to the situation. So we had a significant growth on the spontaneous request of operators that they take advantage on our retail functionality of the platform to migrate from the land-based to online. And in these days, the remotization, digitalization is a point that you cannot leave out from your plan. Unfortunately, is vital for a company. So we have been lucky in one way because we have received a lot of requests, and on the other hand, we had to organize ourselves with detailed meetings. Our sales department is great. They are in call all day, every day, and try to make our the people to the other side of the screen comfortable to have conversation as they were face to face, of course, with the limits of having a screen in between.
Thank you for the positive comments on our company. Yes, we have to work a lot to adapt to these new times. I had the opportunity, of course, to speak with you before, to talk with Alessandro Fried. He's the founder and CEO of BtoBet. And I was really interested in your opinion about Latin America. Why did your company was so interested in Latin America? Why do you think your platform can help Latin American operators? So I think this is another moment, another space for you to share your vision on Latin America and how your company, BtoBet, can help Latin American operators to grow.
Okay, yes. Yes, we have seen in Latin American market a big opportunity, huge opportunity of growth of the gaming industry. We have been studying it since 2016, since Colombia has opened the regulation for the Latin American market as a pioneer, and we have acquired the first clients there, being compliance in Colombia. And since then, we have been studying a lot the market and with deep data analysis of the growth of the interest on the sports book, of course, but also the analytics on the penetration of mobile and internet and the growth and the taste of the population. As you know, we have this global approach, so analyzing and identifying which are the opportunities due to the infrastructures and local preferences in each countries, and transform them in an opportunity for the operators. Now, I think next one would be Brazil, but I would like you to go to our website. We have a specific section that talks about Latin America. As you know, we have been publishing many white papers. We have analyzed country by country. You will find an analysis on Colombia, on Argentina, on Mexico, on Peru, and they're all detailed and to understand the potential growth of Latin America. So there is a specific section in our website to download all the white papers. So after these deep studies, of course, we have been detecting incredible potential in Latin America. So now we have been receiving from tier one operators to confirm our visionary market research. From tier one operators, the request of taking them and open them the Latin American market with us. So we gain also trust in the territory.
Yes, I've read all the content. I mean, I strongly recommend all the content about Latin America, all the analysis, the market research that BtoBet has made about different countries in Latin America, all the content in general, but talking about Latin America, the information, the data your company has shared about this region and its possibilities is really great. So I invite all the executives that are watching this interview to take a look, a deeper look on that that content.
Especially the last one about Brazil. It's really interesting. So I suggest to have a look at it and read it. It's very long to explain all the details data that measure punt our efforts and also investments in Latin America, but it will be very clear after a close reading of all the reports we have produced in these years.
So Sabrina, of course, we are always committed to supporting inclusion, diversity, equality in the gaming industry. We have written articles about this, and we are watching this transformation, this positive transformation of the gaming industry, of the world in general, in terms of giving more access and more visibility to women in the industry in general. So as a strong, powerful woman of the industry, I mean, you have a great experience, you have created your own company, you are in a strong position in this company in BtoBet. So what do you think about these greater possibilities of women to have more important positions in the gaming industry, as it should have been always, but over the last 5 years or 10 years, and considering young executives, new female executives that are entering the gaming industry, what would you recommend them in terms of this aspect of the gaming industry and the possibility of women to have more power, if you can say it, and more visibility in the industry in general?
So let's say that I wrote an article also on the women positions in the gaming industry in the past. I've seen an increasing of leading position by women in this industry, fortunately, as in other sectors worldwide. And for example, we in BtoBet, we just prize the personal capacity and the personal value of each and every employees, no matter which nationality, gender, religion, and whatsoever. As let's say, national companies of everybody and every single branch in our company has different nationalities, religions. They're placed in Israel rather than Gibraltar, rather than Rome or Macedonia. So we are very diversified. And nowadays, there's diversification on the companies. It's becoming more common with the digitalization, even more, because employees, maybe they went back to their country and they're working from there. So it's really important for companies, and like companies like ours, I think they have already in place, which is the only matters that counts in a company to have a success, to grow the personal quality of each employees. And if we have to, I wouldn't not make a cluster again, like women or men. I would speak generally. If I have to say something to women is that, or better to the companies, that they can be more disruptive because women can be more creative. They use other types of logic brain processes, so they can solve problems in a different way, in a creative way, that can bring new approach to companies and maybe new solutions that haven't been taken until that moment. So this is the only thing that I can suggest to company, to use more and more the capacity of women brain side that they're using to solve problems in different ways, and be unique in this case, and be disruptive in their industry, to diversify themselves, especially now in our industry where there is a lot of competition. You need to have something more valuable, and women can solve problems in a different kind of ways. But I wouldn't make any specific difference nowadays.
Of course you can, and we have to learn more about you and respect more and be and share more possibilities, you know. And let's go to the last two questions, and the first question is related to the future. I mean, you're as you might know, in this industry, technology is constantly evolving. BtoBet is a strong technological company, and it's always creating new platforms, new products. So it's leading the way in terms of the technological issue of the industry. Besides this, as you mentioned before, BtoBet has been recently acquired by Aspire Global. So considering both issues, considering the evolution in technology and this recent acquisition, how can you anticipate or foresee the future for your company, for the gaming industry in general? You know?
Yes, let's say that for our company, the acquisition is, as I told before, is a starting point of a new exciting journey. Together with Aspire Global, you need to understand that we have been leader in Latin America and Africa, most of all, and they have been leading another two continents, for example, Europe, which is a mature market, and then as a new market, US, which is very complicated, but together we can reach capillarily and every side and every single part of the world. You have to understand, with all the compliances, regulation that we have been having together, we reach any part of the world. This is an opportunity for a brand who wants to expand, okay, using also that concept of localization that I have said before, which doesn't mean being and launching or expanding the brand with the same characteristics all over, but it means keeping the values that make the brands great, but localizing all the requirements for each regulation, each requirements of the players, and each specification on infrastructure of payment methods, or rather than internet penetration. So I see this joining company a winning solution as a huge pole of technology partner worldwide. Then also, not speaking about the verticals that we can offer, Aspire with us acquire sportsbook solutions. Within the group, there is a Pariplay, another sister company, which is one of the greatest game aggregator nowadays. So with this, we reach the widen games aggregator that there is now in the market. So let's say that the possibilities and flexibilities in configuring the product within the group at the moment nowadays is huge. So we don't let out anything in any jurisdiction. So we are proud of this, to have reached this partnership with Aspire, and I'm sure that there will be a long journey, a great growth. We have been already publishing the last quarter with amazing results. So there is still a lot to come.
Well, Sabrina, usually the last question we try to focus on the tourism industry. As you know, tourism is close to gaming, to entertainment industry in general. So we want the viewers of the interviews to know more about the cities or the places the interviewees have been living or want to recommend. In your case, we would like for you to share your thoughts and your recommendations about Padova, about Malta. What would you recommend for any possible visitor in the future, if conditions permit it, to travel and to visit new places. What would you recommend about Padova, about Malta, in terms of landscapes and food and all the art and all the main issues that represent those places?
Yes, sure. So I'm very pleased to spend some words about my hometown city, but also about one of the places that gave me the most in the past years, which is Malta. So Padova, it's a very cute and clean and nice city, and it's very close to Venice, so 20 minutes from Venice. And let's say that the possibilities of seeing culturally and artistic places in Padova are many, starting from the squares where the historical center, when there is displayed the fruit and herbs market, which is back in time still there within the Marco Polo, for example, was used to travel to Venice, bring the spices, bring the silks, for example, and then come to Padova to the market to sell them as well. So there is a big tradition of markets of products coming from all over the world due to the nearby of the sea where the ships were leaving for Asia, for example. There is Sant'Antonio, which is very famous in the world, Sant'Antonio da Padova, which is an amazing cathedral to visit. And we have a lot of pilgrims every year, millions we had, now less, of course, none, let's say. But it's also very close to the Dolomites, which is a UNESCO worldwide heritage. The Dolomites with amazing scenarios of mountains. If you have looked at my LinkedIn, for example, I've published many pictures of those amazing places in the mountains where I normally go skiing, and it's beautiful, breathless landscapes in high mountains, high peaks, which is another favorite places of mine where to do meditation. Then, of course, Venice is nearby with all these beauties, and the hills where they grow and they produce good wines. Next to the Prosecco hills, few kilometers from Lake Garda. So I really recommend the travel there to have nice food and beautiful environment. From Malta, I can say, as I told before, the sea is the great point of Malta, having the Mediterranean Sea just on 2 steps from the office is a wonderful opportunity to work and live in high quality environment. And then, of course, in this case, the Mediterranean culture, fish, scuba diving, even climbing. I discovered that is famous also for climbing Malta because of the dinglies, the peaks above the sea. I didn't know, I discovered recently, and I'm enjoying also going climbing there and overlooking the sea by being attached on a rock. It's a great experiences. And then, of course, Malta has been an historical place, a crossroads of culture. I've been conquered from all the cultures, Turkish, English, Spanish, Arabs, has a lot of influence, French, Italian, of course, because Sicily is at 70 miles of sea from Malta. So let's say that it's a great international experience with a touch of Mediterranean, not only a touch, a big Mediterranean surroundings. So I love it.
So I've been in Malta and in Venice, so I totally agree with your words. I recommend those places. And of course, Padova will be my next place to visit Leeds. Sabrina Soldà, CMO, Chief Marketing Officer of BtoBet, thank you very much, really, for sharing your experience, sharing your recommendations and your knowledge about the gaming industry, about your career, some issues about your life. Thank you very much for sharing your time with us and with all the viewers of the gaming industry.
Thank you for the interview, and I'm looking forward to broadcast it to all our network. Thank you.
Thank you. And of course, thank you that you have been there on the other side of the screen, supporting us and accompanying us over the 1.5 years that our company is working in this industry. We invite you to continue following us and supporting us. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel and to our social networks. And we will, of course, continue with this GNM one-on-one cycle, continue with our webinars and all the content we share and we create for you in our platforms. So thank you very much for being there. And we will continue generating and creating content over this year and the next year too. Thank you very much.
Bye.